At 82, I deeply regret the decision to move into a nursing home. 6 essential things you must know before deciding. Hello everyone, my name is John and I am now 82 years old. Looking back on my long life, filled with joys, sorrows, challenges and victories, I have gathered many lessons, some hard-earned, some invaluable. However, there is one decision that I deeply regret. A choice that forever changed the course of my life in ways I never imagined. Today, I want to share this decision with you. That decision was moving into a nursing home. At the time, I truly believed it was the best and safest option for me. My family encouraged it strongly, reassuring me that I would receive the best possible care, that I would be surrounded by professionals ready to support me, and that my days would be comfortable and secure. Trusting their assurances, I stepped into the nursing home with hope and a heart full of expectation. Yet, reality proved to be far more complicated and difficult than I had ever dreamed. If you or someone you love is contemplating this significant step, please take a moment to hear my story. There are 6 crucial, eye-opening truths I wish someone had shared with me before I moved in. 6 lessons that profoundly reshaped my life and outlook. I invite you to walk with me through each of these lessons. I encourage you to stay with me until the very end of this video, because these insights may help you or your loved ones avoid the same painful mistakes I made and make choices that will bring peace rather than regret. What this video will explore: the deep and often overlooked loss of freedom and control over your own life, the surprising and often rapid deterioration of health within nursing home environments, the crushing feelings of loneliness, invisibility, and abandonment, the disappearance of daily purpose and joy that once defined life, the loss of privacy and erosion of personal dignity in institutional living, the unexpected and heartbreaking challenges in leaving a nursing home and reclaiming independent living. I will share with you my own experiences, as well as stories from many friends I met along the way. If you find any of these points striking a chord, please leave a comment with that number below, so I know you are here, engaging and reflecting with me. 1. Losing freedom and control over your daily life. Freedom, the sacred and invaluable power to make your own choices, even about the smallest details, is something I cherished deeply and fiercely, even at 82. At home, I decided when to wake up, when to take a walk, when and what to eat. Even small, seemingly trivial decisions, like what clothes to wear, which book to read, or how to spend a quiet afternoon, were mine to make. But the moment I moved into the nursing home, all of that vanished. Everything was dictated by a rigid, inflexible schedule. Breakfast was served at exactly 7:30 a.m., no matter whether I felt hungry or not. Lights went out sharply at 9 p.m., regardless of whether my mind was still wide awake and craving a few more pages from my favorite book. At first I thought this was a minor inconvenience, a necessary routine to maintain order and harmony. But day by day, I realized I no longer had control over the most fundamental aspects of my life. Wanting to simply step outside for fresh air meant asking permission and waiting, sometimes for a long time, for assistance. The simple freedoms I once took for granted had become privileges I had to beg for. There were many afternoons when all I wished for was to sit quietly in my room, immersed in a beloved book. But that room, meant to be my sanctuary, felt cold, sterile, and foreign. The familiar objects, the cozy furniture, the little mementos I had collected and cherished over decades were gone. Instead, I was surrounded by stark white walls and a bed I never chose. I remember the very first morning vividly. I woke up and reached for the book I had been reading at home, only to find it missing. The room offered none of the privacy, warmth, or comfort I had known all my life. It was a profound loss, not just of possessions, but of identity, of self. If you are watching this video and seriously considering moving into a nursing home, I urge you to ask yourself this deeply important question. Are you truly prepared to trade your precious freedom and control over your own life for a place that promises safety and convenience, but may come at a much greater cost? 2. The rapid and often unexpected decline in health. One of the most shocking realities I faced was how quickly my health deteriorated after moving in. Before moving to the nursing home, despite my age, I was relatively active. I could walk comfortably around my home, prepare my own meals, complete household chores, and maintain my body through daily stretches and light morning walks. I was healthy enough to visit the supermarket weekly, and these small routines kept me connected to life. But once in the nursing home, all of these responsibilities disappeared overnight. Staff took over nearly every task. I only had to press a button to request assistance. Initially, I considered this a blessing, a chance to rest, without worries or exertion. Yet, after a few weeks, I noticed my body growing weaker. Muscles stiffened, legs felt heavier, and simple acts like standing up from a chair or walking short distances became exhausting. I witnessed many residents undergo the same decline. Those who arrived walking independently soon required wheelchairs. Their cherished independence slipped away, piece by piece. One wise gentleman said to me, "We don't grow old, we just stop moving." This truth struck me deeply. Movement is not a luxury, it is essential to life itself. If you are contemplating a nursing home, please ask yourself, will you have the motivation and support to keep your body moving and healthy in an environment designed to make everything easier for you? 3. The crushing loneliness and invisibility that set in. In the early days, my family visited frequently. My children and grandchildren promised to come often. But as weeks slipped into months, visits dwindled. Phone calls replaced visits, and eventually even phone calls became scarce. Life's busy demands, work, school, family obligations, pulled them away. Promises to visit on holidays often fell through at the last moment, leaving me feeling more and more isolated. I spent countless hours alone, sitting in my room or the common area, staring at the door, hoping someone would remember me, hoping today might be the day someone shows up. Others shared similar stories, feeling like ghosts, invisible to the world beyond the nursing home walls. Friends and acquaintances assume that once you are in a nursing home, you're taken care of and fine, so they stop checking in or reaching out. The brutal truth is, loneliness is one of the most devastating challenges many of us here face. If you or a loved one are about to move into a nursing home, prepare your heart for this possibility and find ways to actively maintain meaningful connections with the outside world. 4. Losing your purpose and daily joys. Before moving here, I had daily routines and small responsibilities that gave my life meaning. Watering plants, cooking meals, tidying my space, and caring for pets. These small acts made me feel useful, alive, and gave me a reason to get up each day with purpose and joy. But in the nursing home, all of that vanished. No more watering plants, no more cooking, no more household chores. Everything was done for me. I saw many friends become passive observers, watching time pass without enthusiasm or joy. One friend, George, a lifelong carpenter, now sat with idle hands, no projects to build, no tools to use. The sense of uselessness weighed heavily on him. life without purpose and joy soon becomes empty and bleak. If you are considering moving into a nursing home, ask yourself, what gives your life meaning? How will you preserve that spark in a place where so many daily joys are stripped away? 5. Losing privacy and dignity. At home, I had a private room where I could close the door and enjoy solitude. Here, things are very different. Shared rooms or even private rooms come with frequent staff visits, scheduled checks, and sometimes staff entering without waiting for my response. Even the most personal activities, bathing, toileting, dressing, require waiting for help. I remember the deep embarrassment of having to ask permission for so many things, feeling like I lost the dignity I had held all my life. Some roommates were difficult, making peace and rest nearly impossible. The lack of genuine privacy and respect took a toll on my mental health. Think about the privacy and respect you enjoy at home. In a nursing home, these become precious luxuries you must fight to preserve. 6. Leaving the nursing home is far harder than you imagine. When I first moved into the nursing home, I believed it was just a temporary situation, a trial period really. I told myself that if I didn't like it, or if things didn't work out as I hoped, I could always return home. The idea of going back to my own space, my own familiar routines, gave me comfort and a sense of control. But reality quickly proved to be far more complicated and painful than I could have ever imagined. Shortly after I moved in, decisions were made about my house without my full involvement. It was sold or rented out to cover expenses and simplify matters. The very place I once called home, the sanctuary filled with decades of memories, was no longer mine to return to. That loss alone was heartbreaking, but it was only the beginning. As the months went on, my health steadily declined. Tasks I once managed easily, like preparing meals, dressing myself, or simply moving around the house, became daunting or even impossible. I began to rely more and more on the care provided within the nursing home, which made the thought of living independently again seem less realistic. My family, out of love and concern, believed the nursing home was the safest place for me. They worried that if I tried to live on my own again, I might fall or struggle without immediate help. Their intentions were good, but that protective instinct became another barrier to returning home. I met many other residents who had the same hopes I once did, to leave, to go back to the life they remembered. Yet, few were able to follow through. Some tried but were quickly overwhelmed by the physical and emotional challenges. Others never dared try, paralyzed by fear. Fear that their bodies weren't strong enough, that they wouldn't have the support system needed to survive alone. Leaving the nursing home is far from simple. It's not just a matter of packing up and walking out the door. There are legal, financial, physical, and emotional hurdles that can make the idea feel impossible. You may find yourself trapped, not by bars or walls, but by circumstances and limitations that grow heavier every day. If you're seriously considering moving into a nursing home, I urge you to think carefully and prepare yourself for this reality. Ask yourself honestly, am I ready for the possibility that this may become my permanent home? Do I fully understand the consequences of the choice I am about to make? Because once you step inside, the path back to the independent life you once had may be much more difficult to reclaim than you ever imagined. Conclusion. Looking back, I don't regret growing old, but I deeply regret believing that a nursing home was my only option. I moved here seeking safety and comfort but lost my freedom, privacy, purpose, and even myself. Nursing homes serve many who truly need their care. But before making this life-altering choice, weigh the costs carefully. Life changes forever once you step inside. If I could do it over, I would fight harder to stay at home longer, seek help without sacrificing my freedom, and only move when absolutely necessary. Ask yourself, is this really the best choice for you, or just the easiest one for now? Your life's value is rooted in your routines, choices, and freedoms. Hold on to them as long as you can. If you found these stories helpful, please comment the number that resonates most with you below. If you haven't subscribed yet, please click subscribe and ring the notification bell so you don't miss my future videos. Thank you for listening to my story. I hope it helps you or your loved ones make wiser, more informed decisions.